Jai Gurudev and welcome to this another summary of Yoga Vasistha from 19th of May till 25th of May. Last week we saw the beautiful story that ended between the one of the sage and his son. This week there is also another story coming up of King Janaka. So let's begin into that. 19th of May, page 140. So Vasistha is continuing talking to Rama. If you remember last week, also Rama asked him to give him the ultimate knowledge that he has shared that knowledge with us, and he is continuing that. He says, resolve the confusion between the body and the self, and you will be at peace at once. Even as the nugget of gold is fallen into the mud, is never gets spoiled, and the self is untainted by the body. So whatever the gross form that the consciousness takes into any body or any living being or any of these things that you see around is considered as not as pure, because it is a condensed consciousness where consciousness loses its ability and its power to exist amongst all. It just gets limited into that particular form. So that's why it is generally considered as unpure. There is nothing wrong with the body, there is nothing wrong with all those forms, but the consciousness's ability becomes limited to explore its complete knowledge. That's why it is considered as a unpure or not that great. With uplifted arms, I proclaim the self is one thing and the body is another, even as the water and the lotus. Water and the lotus is a very good example, because the water is there, the lotus is there, but the lotus leaves, when they are on water, or the dew drops when they fall on the leaves, they generally don't stay there, they don't stick there, they just falls down and becomes one with the water. So that is a very good example that though the body is there and self is there, the self does not get changed by the body. In fact, when the body starts understanding the self, when the gross form start understanding the subtlest form, it actually starts getting purer and not better. I will use the word not getting attached with the conditioning that it is thinking about itself. But the moment one awakens, but no one has listened to me. As long as you are into the path of pleasure, so long as the darkness of the illusion is there, and the moment you awakens this and inquires into the nature of the self, the darkness disappears. Even as the sky is not affected by the particles in it. This is a wonderful example he has given. The self is not unaffected by all the body. Excuse me. So self is unaffected by the body. It is not just one self and one body. Don't think, if you are still thinking about that, that is still a wrong understanding, I will say. It is the entire self, and then there are bodies. So though we feel the separateness, it is actually not the separateness, it is just the waves arising and it just become you. The another wave arising, it becomes someone else. The another third wave of consciousness arising, that energy arising, and it becomes me. So it's the same waves that comes in the ocean, and the ocean is still the same. The same waves of different bodies comes in the consciousness, and these are there for certain amount of time. Now the actual wave, it comes on the ocean and falls down, it stays for 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds according to its big or small it is. However, this time is just longer. You're just arising up and then staying for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years. That's it. So, and then it's subsiding. And the arising is slow, subsiding is slow, and the staying is also slow. So it's just a slow motion of the wave coming up and coming down. If you remember like this, if you see like this, then you will get a little bit of clear idea. But again, this we are talking about the arising of an individual consciousness. So you have to go out of that. So you have to witness this thing happening in you. The self and the world is neither identical nor it is different. All this is but a reflection of the truth. Nothing but the Brahman exists. Different from this is a fancy idea. So the Brahman is like that individual consciousness, we can say. That individual consciousness, or the consciousness which is becoming aware of itself, and out of that the individual forms happening, is Brahman. Because all the scriptures has said the same thing again and again, that everything has come out of Brahman. So if everything has to come out of Brahman, then it is the consciousness that is actually getting to know itself in the different forms, and coming and experiencing this world and the other forms the same way. So I'm different from this, means I'm different from this infinite consciousness, and I'm into this form and I'm experiencing this form, is actually a wrong identity. That's what he's saying, and give it up. The one self perceives itself within itself as infinite consciousness, and therefore there is no sorrow, no delusion, no birth, nor creation, whatever it is. So the one self is seeing itself into the infinite. So like again, the example is again could be the same, the same. One wave is coming up and subsiding and going down, another wave is coming up, subsiding and going down. What was your identity before you were born? What will be your identity after you will die? Now if the answer comes, I don't know, then think carefully. This is very subtle, understand it clearly. Who is that claiming that I was not there? So who is there? Who is that I who is there, and which is that behind that I which is there, which is saying that no, this was not there? There are still two things. The one that is saying I was not there, so I was not there, that I was not there, but who is claiming that thing I was not there? And if that I was not there, then who is here right now, which we are claiming that yes, I am here? There you will start getting the little bit of glimpse and idea about the individual consciousness and the infinite consciousness, how they are separate from each other, how they have come from the limited time. The individual consciousness has gone this, become aware of itself, and the time has started, and the birth, and until the death the time will continue. It just got caught up into that conditioning of the time and the form. Let's see, there is nothing major has happened. And when you start understanding this, oh, it is just caught up into that conditioning of time and form. If I will drop the form, if I will get out of myself from this time that I'm calculating, I'm measuring, then I'm free. But there is something inside you which is not affected by the time of the form. And that is what you experience every day at night when you are in deep sleep. So that is what he is referring into. Be free of duality, remain firmly established into the self, and abandon even the concern of your own welfare. Because your welfare are just limited to this body-mind complexity. If you go more deeper, the body-mind complexity, everything, the whole world has come out of that something. So do you think your individual welfare or your individual needs will not get taken care of? That's why most of the saints and most of the masters, when they walk the path, they don't care about themselves. However, you realize that they get everything that they want. Whether it's money, fame, house, luxury, whatever you think is the best in this world, pleasurable, is everything comes to their doorstep, to their feet. Because everybody gives whatever they have. Because those who have that, they know that this is not the real thing. I'm not free in this. So they're happy to donate. They're happy to give away. And all these people's needs get fulfilled, not the wants. We are stuck in the wants. I want something. So welfare, taking care of welfare happens automatically. That means your needs, whatever you will need. Today you don't have any food right now, but after some time automatically somebody will come and give you some food. Same thing like that will happen. So that's what it says. Be brave, having conquered the mind and the senses. Be desireless, content with what comes to you unsought. So desireless means don't have any desire, don't have any wants. That's what we discuss. Whatever comes in your way, just accept it and just leave it as it's for you. Be free from all the natural perversions and from the blinding tent of illusion. Rest content in your own self. Thus be free and distressed. Remain in an expansive state of self, and like the full ocean, rejoice. So you will see, if you just start taking your attention back and start feeling that this body has come out of this individual consciousness, this individual consciousness, that I am, that strong I am inside you, without I am man, I am female, I am good, I am bad, I am intellectual, I am not intellectual, I am professional, I am mother, I am father, all these things you attach to that, all the labels. If you take out all the labels and just go back to that pure I am, you will see that I am, the purest state, is also depending on something. It has got its dependence on something. It is not free. It is not like expanded. It is vast. It is there, but it is still not completely free of itself. And then you let go of I also in that. Just go into that beingness or amness. Then you start dissolving into that automatically. So this is the practice. This is what is called the abhyasa. This is the practice we have to do consciously. Oh Rama, he who knows that activities are merely happen because of the existence of the consciousness. Some there are who are devoted to the inaction, and they are turned away from the suppressed. They are turned away from or suppress all the actions. They go to hell, from sorrow to sorrow, and fear to fear. Now, the moment this individual consciousness has come into existence and it wants to know itself and the whole creation has happened, the actions are happening from that level. That I am level which is there, it is, you will feel like it's very still. But all the actions are built up on that I am level. So you cannot get rid of the actions. You have to keep doing whatever is required. The non-action just happens only when you are in deep sleep, when you are touching that infinite consciousness or the absolute. But you are not touching that right now in this body form. Till the time you are in this body form, you have to perform some duties and some actions, whatever is required for this body form. Otherwise, you will get lethargy, you will get lazy, you will go into the tamasic mode. And that's why it said, you cannot just leave everything and go and sit somewhere. Some are bound by their tendencies and intended the fruit of their own actions, and they take the birth of worms and all that. And the others who know the self, blessed indeed to have carefully inquired into the nature of the mind and overcome all the cravings. The action is inbuilt into all those things. So according to actions, you will get the birth. So if you not do any actions and you will just keep the tendency as it is, then you will take the birth of according to those tendencies. But if you want to get rid of those tendencies, then the actions are required. And after you get rid of all the tendencies, when you realize your true self, then after that you just do whatever naturally comes to you, which we discussed on the previous page, that accept everything coming on your way unsought to you. And then he is taking the mixture of sattva and rajas, that you take the birth and then that grows into the holiness. He performs the appropriate actions, and his heart is clear. And means, how you grow, it's like we are on this path. You have taken, there was some sattva and some rajas inside us which was there, and that's why we could incline toward the spirituality, and we are doing all the sadhana and things whatever we have. And then they meet the master, and then the master will direct them to the self knowledge. And then such a liberated awakens the inner intelligence which has been asleep for a long time. And awakened intelligence instantly knows itself to be the infinite consciousness. And then I shall narrate to you the story of and then he's just giving the example, like how enlightened masters free you from all those things. He's saying the enlightened masters, liberated one, awakens the inner intelligence, and which is asleep for long, and this awakened intelligence instantly knows itself as an infinite consciousness and becoming constantly aware of inner light. Such is blessed one instantly ascends its utterly pure state, and such is a normal course of evolution. However, there are exceptions to this rule. In some case, those who have taken the birth in the world, there are two possibilities. One is that they follow the path shown by the masters, and the second is that the self-knowledge literally drops on their lap, an instant enlightenment. And then in this matter, second thing, I will tell you the story how the self-knowledge suddenly drops in your laps. So he said there was a King Janaka, and the King Janaka was going into the forest, and then when he was resting, he heard the words uttered by the sage. And the sage was saying, we contemplate that self which reveals itself as a pure experience, and we contemplate that self which the objects are reflected at volitionally, once divided experience of subject object and the intention or the volition are created, that division are ceased. Now we contemplate that light which illumines all and everybody shining into that. We contemplate that reality. We contemplate that self which is very basic of all the languages. Now this is very important. This you will not understand if you will don't know the Indian Sanskrit language. Sanskrit language, A is the first letter and H is the last letter. So aham means I am in between A to H. All the names have come out of A and H. So everything that comes between A and H, the first letter, like A to Z, we say, no, everything has come out of those letters. So in Sanskrit is A to H. So aham means I am the one which is come out of, which is there in all the form, and everything, all the forms has come out of me. So the people run after objects foolishly, giving up the Lord, and dwells in the cave of their own heart. And he who, having known worthlessly of all the objects, remains bound at the heart of them, is not a human being. So one should enjoy the delight that flows from peace. The man whose mind is well controlled is firmly established in peace. When the heart is thus established in peace, there arises the pure bliss and self without delay. So this is what the sage is contemplating, that whom we bow down, what are the qualities of this self. And then he is saying, now having heard this, King Janaka became terribly depressed. With the utmost expedition, he retracted his steps to the palace. Quietly dismissing all the attendants, he sought the seclusion in his own chamber, and then this is what he thought about himself. I am helplessly swinging like a stone in the world of misery. What is the duration of the lifespan in eternity? Yet I have developed a love for it. And then he has developed that love and longing towards that, and he's feeling depressed about that. Who is that magician who has spread this illusion called the world and thus deluded me? Whatever is seen or experienced here is subject to change and destruction. So not, we can't say similar to Lord Rama when he was depressed. It was different state, but here he actually wants to know something and he do not know, and he's just wondering and trying to find out who has done all those things and how can I find out that thing. I am bound without a cord, I am tainted without impurity, and I am fallen without remaining on top. Oh myself, what a mystery. I am deluded. Even the gods and Trinity have come and gone millions times. What is permanent in the universe? So he is actually contemplating on all those things. He don't have the self-knowledge yet. He is actually just contemplating and wanting to know. I am like the ignorant fool. I am so and so. And he just think, what shall I regard as excellence and desirable, seeing that whatever one cherishes in this world has passed away. Even if we perform great religious rites, then also we may go to heaven, but nothing more. So he is actually very nicely, he is thinking about all the things that actually are happening around us right now also. All the good actions have got the good results, but not necessarily they will give you the ultimate knowledge. The ultimate knowledge and the self-realization is nothing to do with what the actions you are doing, good or bad. Good or bad actions has got their corresponding or whatever results they are supposed to get according to the action, but still the self within us is completely free from that. So he wanted to know what is that, how can I get to that in this world which appears to have created even as a fruit of a coconut palm might appears to have been disloyed by the crow, which is coincidentally happens to align with the tree at the moment sharing. So Ignorance generates the feeling like this I should have or that I should have rejected. It is better to spend one's time in seclusion or in hell that to live in the world of so he wanted to find out everything on his own. That's why he's gone into his own things, his own quietness. Intention and motivation alone is the seed of the world appearance. This is wonderful, isn't it? Intention and motivation. You have to have motivated to create something, and you have to have that intention, And he's observed that, I have been awakened. I shall slay this thief mind who has stolen my wisdom. And then he continues saying that. Then his bodyguard comes and he says, Lord, it's time to consider your loyal duties. And then he's arise and let what has been done, what has to be done, be done. And for noble men are never unpunctual or negligence. Ignoring the guard, he again continues saying this, what shall I do with this court and royal duties? O mind, abandon your cravings of sense pleasure. Seeing this king was silent, bodyguard became silent too. What shall I seek to gain in this universe? So he's just contemplating into that. If it is a wonderful state according to me and according to many masters and many scriptures, because this is where the real journey of finding out what you are start by ignoring what you are not, and what you are not actually keeps binding us again and again to the unreality. So what you are not, when you start contemplating that and be very criticized and start giving it away or pointing it out or saying that this is of no use to me, it is there but I don't know, I'm not getting the satisfaction in this, whether it's money, fame, your religious activities, your professional activities, your family activities, your body, you're taking care of the body, everything that you can come into the categories, you will start understanding that no, this is something I'm doing because I was supposed to do as I'm in this form, but that is not going to give me the self-knowledge or the enlightenment I'm seeking for. However, please note, we are here, or I'm here, not advising that you should not do all those things, and you should not you should stop doing all those things and go into the seclusion and start seeking all those things. This is not we are saying. We are saying this is the state you feel, and it's a mental thing. So you have to mentally let go of your hold on to those things. I'm a father, then I'm a father is making me do so many things, and that role I'm assuming is not giving me the clear picture of who I am. So let go of that, let go of that mentally. You still do the duties of the father, but you don't get attached to that fatherhood so much that it is stopping or becoming a obstruction on your path. So then he contemplated like that, and then the Vasistha said, reflecting, thus King Janaka rose from his seat, and then the sun arises at the horizon. And he began to engage himself into the royal duties without any attachment to them. I do not long for what I do have, and not to have desire. Okay, sorry, I thought I missed something, so I was just going back and checking. King Janaka thus reflected in his own mind, O unsteady mind, this worldly life is not conducive of your true happiness. Hence, reach to the state of unequanimity. It is such an equanimity that you will experience. That's where you will experience peace, bliss, and truth. Whatever you create perverse thinking in yourself out of your own wantonness, it is then that this world illusion begins to expand and spread out. Let this world appearance be real or unreal. Let it is arise or set, but do not let its merit or demerit disturb your equanimity. O mind, you are false. This world appearance is false. Hence, there is a mysterious relationship between the two, like the relationship between the parent woman and her son. If you think that you are real and that the world is unreal, know that how can this valid relationship exist between the two. On the other hand, if both are real, then also the justification is not correct, and hence abandon sorrow and resort into the deep contemplation. There is not here in this world which can lead you to the state of fullness. Hence, resolutely take refuge in the courage and endurances and overcome your own way of wildness. So basically, he contemplated everything. He first, as you heard, he first rejected all those things. He went to the depression and he said, "This is not what I want. My mind is the troublesome, and this is all the delusion it is created." And then he realized that I have to go beyond the mind. I have to witness the mind. When you are witnessing the mind, he is very, very, very amazingly. If you read this on 146 page, 25th of May, that we just read just now, all those things, he has actually taken himself out of the mind, and he is watching the mind, he is talking the mind, and he is understanding the both things that exist in the mind, the right thing and the wrong thing, good things and the bad things. So in this particular thing where it says, "Oh mind, you are false and the world appearance is false." This is mystery. Where was that? I just read and I thought I will explain this later. It is thought to be arise the network of the world, whatever you determine. Yeah. Hence, reach to the state of equanimity, and it is such an equanimity that you will experience peace, bliss. And so equanimity is that centeredness that you find that you are not getting affected by the good things or not getting affected by the bad things. Like last video, if you remember, we saw that it is the first thing, the step is that we got some wrong happening in our life and we want something good to happen, and we come on this path and we start focusing on the good and we start making the good bigger. But however, when you reach to the advanced stages, you realize the good is also of not any use to me, because the good comes with the bad and bad comes with the good. So no matter how much big I will make a good, that much bad is also there as its coexisting opposite reality. So I have to just get rid of both and just detach from both, and again establish into myself, into the centeredness, into that equanimous state which King Janaka also has saying here, where I can see the good and the bad with the same eyes. I will have the same attitude towards the good and the bad. That is the state of the enlightenment. That is what he is saying here. So so how to practice this? So first of all, just find out what is that is bothering you. Okay, go with the weather, go with your body conditioning, body type, mind type, your relations around you, and then start saying, if I say about the weather, I don't like summer, I like winter, then winter I'm accepting, summer I'm rejecting. Then understand that, just understand in a subtle way, why is that, why I'm doing that. Then you will find the answer for that. In the relations, I easily accept this thing somebody doing to me, I don't accept that thing somebody doing to me. I don't like somebody lying to me. That means I want someone to tell me the truth. Now that is just my understanding about my relationship. So understand that what you can easily accept, what you are rejecting in your relation. Then go on from the social and from the natural things, you go on to your body. What type of body you have, what conditions you have with your body, and can you accept them easily, or you are rejecting them. Find what is right, what is wrong, what is happening, what is not happening, what you want to be, what is right now, and then just take yourself out. Oh, okay, this is what it is and this is what I want, but I don't want to get attached with this, because what is the reality will not get achieved if I will achieve that step as well. And then take yourself back from that. Then go on the level of the mind. Your mind is rebelling with something, mind is peaceful with something, then tell, okay, that is what is the nature of the mind. It is just gets pleasurable experiences, becomes happy. It gets unpleasurable experience, it becomes unhappy. I don't want to get attached with that as well. Go beyond that, go to the feeling level. Like that, slowly, contemplate and keep going back and back and back in such a way that you will start understanding whatever is unreal, whatever has got the opposite is unreal, and that unreal will start, you will start detaching from that, and slowly start going deep into yourself. Now when you come to that state of I am also, then I am here existing, that means the other person is there existing, from third person is existing. That means this I am, which is projecting itself through this body mind complexity, is also not the complete real identity, because it is the one who is the cause of keeping me separate from everybody else. So the truth is still beyond that. So we have to let go of that I am state as well. So that I am thing, that subtle ego, that you can say, or that individual consciousness you can say, or Atma you can say, or whatever you given the personal name you have given for this individual body mind complexity, has to let go. That's the last door step. And then again, has to let go means you have to still perform everything on the different levels, whatever the right actions or whatever the conducive actions, spontaneous actions that are supposed to happen, but not getting attached to that. If I will perform the actions, I will be happy. If I will not perform the actions, I will be happy. You have to separate yourself from that as well. Well, performing the action, because the action has to happen. I'm not getting attached with that. I'm not getting engaged with that into the thought process as well. I'm just into my complete self. And because when you go to the ultimate reality, you don't have the reference point, like in the sleep, deep sleep, you don't have the reference point. The last, that I am state, is the best state to hold on. From there, automatically the things happens. Understand this. We were just talking about that, and I do say that after I am is the ultimate reality. That's what King Janaka or all the scriptures are referring. However, that ultimate reality do not have any base, because nothing exists in that. Like in deep sleep, you do not know what is happening. So to have that reference in the awake state, we have to reach to that ultimate last state, which is I am, and establish there, and then the things will happen from there. Whether you are going to the next side without any awareness, going into the deep self realization state, or from there you are monitoring and doing all the activities for this appearance has happened, or for the world around you. Both the things will happen very naturally in that state. So that is where the journey is up to. And in that journey, whatever the obstacles are there, are the level of the body, level of the mind, level of the feeling, level of the right and wrong concepts about the in the intellect and everything. So once you free from that, then the things. So this is what the contemplation means. This is what the viveka means. This is what the discrimination means. So that's why this is what we should be doing along with our sadhana. Sadhana is like experiencing that truth, and contemplation and discrimination means dissecting the unreal and reaching to the truth. So both is required, and both has to go hand in hand. And on this note, we will end this chapter here. From next week, we will read 26 May onwards, which is page number 147. So think about all those things we discuss here. Think about whatever we shared here, and share your views, or share your ideas, or share whatever your learning is. Till then, Jai Gurudev. Take care. Bye.